Hi, I'm Jeea. I'm 43 years old, an Aries, and since MBTI is big in Korea right now, I am an INFJ that fluctuates as an E. I wanted to create this introductory video to tell you a little bit about myself as well as my IVF journey, as I have been posting shorts about what's been going on. So I hope that you enjoy this video and get to know a little bit more about me. I've generally been a very active person. I've ran since high school. I don't drink coffee because it's too bitter for me. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I'm not a fan of soda. And eat mostly clean, like not, less fried food, white bread, processed meat, things like that. And to take you back to my history, I immigrated to the US with my parents when I was 9, and my field of study was in psychology and education. And I've been a teacher for over 15 years and decided I wanted to pursue counseling. So I got my degree and began working as a school counselor. I lived in California majority of my life, and I lived in New York while I was studying there. And 4 years ago, I made a big decision. I left my clinical psychology PhD program in California to experience life in Korea. I was 39 then, and it was my first time truly living abroad, living on my own. So it was very exciting. In 2022, I met my husband and got married. And by 2023, we started to try conceive naturally. I went to a gynecologist, paid the extra 300,000 won, not covered by insurance, to get all my tests done to understand my body better. And that's when I learned my AMH was really, really low. And I'll tell you the exact number at the end of the video. So in December 2023, I found out that I was pregnant for the first time. We even heard the heartbeat. We even saw her on the screen, this little baby house. We called our baby Aloha. And I felt so deeply connected, so comforted every day just knowing Aloha was with me. But after just 2 months, we lost the pregnancy. We were so devastated. I ended up having a surgery to move the baby house and spent about a month recovering. While we were trying naturally, my gynecologist helped me to track everything: ovulation through ultrasounds, hormone levels through blood tests, and I even had a test to check if my fallopian tubes were open, with that ink, really painful. Along the way, they found endometriosis in my ovary, so I also had to get that removed and wait a whole month. But after a year with no progress, my doctor suggested IVF. So we started IVF at a well-known clinic about 30 minutes from where we live. Our first round was on March 2024. Injecting myself was totally a new territory, so my husband helped me with the shots in the beginning. We were able to retrieve one egg, but when they looked closely, it turned out to be abnormal, so we couldn't move forward with the fertilization. To recover my mind and body, I started working out at the gym every day in the morning. And I got pregnant again in April, but unfortunately, 2 months later, I miscarried again in June. This time, I let the baby house come out naturally, as I found the surgery kind of invasive and took me longer to recover. I went home to stay with my parents in the US and took a month off to heal. After that, I did my second and third IVF rounds in August and September. Both led to 3 fresh transfers, meaning that they allowed it to fertilize, but they did not see the embryo growing further than day 3, but neither of them stuck. In October, we had to cancel the egg retrieval because my husband had to travel for work. So that was also pretty disappointing as I continued to take shots. Well, I wanted my body to heal, so I took a break until January 2025 when I collaborated with a doctor to try full dosage. Before, I was on mild stimulation because she said that that allows mothers or that allows women to do the IVF more consecutively. But again, another mishap. When I went in for my last checkup, I had already ovulated. I was starting to feel quite disappointed in the care that I was receiving at the specific hospital. And as I've been, reading on things, informing myself, like I didn't agree with how the doctor was doing the whole procedure. So I decided to find a new clinic. All of February, I met with different doctors. There's also a YouTuber named Helen who's been doing IVF in Korea, and she started a company that helps people like me do IVF in Korea. So I reached out to them, and they recommended me a doctor who was able to help a woman in her 50s get pregnant with their first baby. And I reached out and I was able to make an appointment, and my journey continued from there. So, from March of this year till now, which is end of June, I've been doing back to back cycles. They do blood tests, they consistently do ultrasounds to make sure that I don't have any water cysts. And so far, none have gone beyond the egg retrieval. But at my age, less than 10% chance of success is it's fact. So it's really a numbers game for me. And the good thing is that at this new hospital, they allow the egg to grow beyond day 3. I've been able to do the PGTA test, which is a genetic test to look out for any abnormalities in the DNA of the embryo. And that's been eye opening to see the results. And the doctor assures us the DNA of mom and DNA of dad, there's nothing wrong there, but something is happening in the journal that's causing the abnormalities. So my AMH is 0.3, which is similar to the AMH of a 47-year-old woman. I don't know how this came about. I thought, I've exercised all my life, I ate mostly clean, and thought that I would be okay to be able to have a baby in my 40s, but it's turning out to be a little bit more difficult. And lastly, I heard from a friend, her name is Dee. She shared with me that one of her relatives went through IVF 10 times, and on her 11th round, she was able to have a baby. And I heard this before I began my IVF journey, and it gave me a lot of hope. It gave me also perspective. I just completed my 8th egg retrieval. I will find out the results of that on July 3rd. So I'm praying, I'm hoping, and I hope to hear good news soon. Thank you everybody for watching. I really, really appreciate your support and your love and your encouragement. Bye.